short drama based on life journey of our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. So this was just before the meeting of Abhay with his Guru Maharaj. Abhay's friend Narendranath Mulik was insistent. He wanted Abhay to see a sadhu from Mayapur. So one day, Narendranath insists Abhay.
Okay, let's go to see this great Vaishnava. He is a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya.
Oh, no, I know all these sadhus. I am not coming.
No, Abhay, we must go. We should go. Come.
So in 1922, Srila Prabhupada met his Guru Maharaj, Lion Guru. This is how people used to call Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. At that time, he was quite a young man. He met his Guru Maharaj through the exigency of his intimate friend. So, on the first visit, he asked him,
You are well-educated young man. Why don't you preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission throughout the whole world?
We are foreign dominated nation, India. Who will hear our message?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj knew what was the potential of young Abhay. So he convinced him that independence, they are temporary, but we are concerned with the eternal benefit of the humankind. Because we belong to a Vaishnav family, I was very much pleased that here is a personality who is going to preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message. At the last moment, also just a fortnight before his passing away, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj wrote him the same thing, that you should try to preach this message amongst the persons who are conversant in English language. Srila Prabhupada read his letter again and again. And this time he was certain of what he should do to please his spiritual master. Years once when Abhay returned home, he saw his wife was drinking tea. He asked her not to take tea, but she didn't listen. After that, he was searching for his book. It was missing. He then inquired from his wife. Abhay was shocked to know that his wife had sold his worshipable Bhagavatam to scrap dealer, and with that money she bought tea biscuits. She hadn't taken the matter as a very serious thing. She was out of tea biscuits. Abhay was shocked. It really pained Srila Prabhupada to core. Then he gave her the final option to choose.
Either we have to choose the tea or me.
So she just started having tea. And that was it. Abhay left the home. They thought he's going and he would be back again. But Abhay knew he would never come back. In 1944, Srila Prabhupada starts a magazine called Back to Godhead, in which he highlights the suffering of modern civilization, which seems to be wanting kingdom of God but without God. Srila Prabhupada tried different ways to execute the orders of his spiritual master, but he did not receive any encouragement in India that time. As years passed by, Abhay decides to move to Vrindavan. He takes sannyas and now he is known as Abhay Charnavrin Bhaktivedanta Swami. He continued to live in Vrindavan and traveled to Delhi, writing books and trying to print it. At that time, there was no sale of Back to Godhead magazine. People were not very interested in buying Back to Godhead magazine. He was publishing about 1,000 copies and distributing it all alone. So there was no money. Srila Prabhupada remained hungry many times so that he could save some money and use that money in printing books. So when he was publishing this Back to Godhead from Delhi, one day one bull threshed him. So one day one bull thrashed him and he fell down on the footpath and he got severe injury. He was all alone. There was another time he fainted on the road in the hot sun while distributing Back to Godhead magazine. So he had many days of tribulations, so many difficulties, so many challenges. Srila Prabhupada started thinking, how will I get strength to spread this Sankirtan movement? Srila Prabhupada was not willing to give up the order of his spiritual master, as his instruction was his life and soul. He then starts translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Which he knew would one day change the face of the entire world. So in Vrindavan, in the rooms of Sri Radha Damodar, Srila Prabhupada completed first 3 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam and he printed it in Delhi. He then got reciprocation from his Guru Maharaj Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that now it is the time to fulfill the instructions given by his spiritual master. And then he proceeded towards the journey to America. On 12th August 1965, Srila Prabhupada started his journey on Jaldut, which was a cargo ship from Calcutta port. The journey was not easy. During this journey, Srila Prabhupada got 2 heart attacks, which was very severe. He was shivering with that intense pain. Later, Prabhupada writes in his Jaldut diary, if I had got one more heart attack, I wouldn't have survived. On the 3rd day before night, he was praying to Krishna that, see, I have come here on the mission. My Guru Maharaj, he wanted me to preach to this Western world. So it is not for my personal thing, but on behalf of my Guru Maharaj. I pray that I cross this ocean and execute the mission of my Guru Maharaj for his pleasure. And on the same night, when he slept, he had a dream in which he saw Lord Krishna was personally moving the ship. And all the incarnations and the acharyas are in that ship. And he was crossing that Atlantic Ocean and he reached the shores America. It means Krishna is giving the assurance that even this will pass and he will execute the mission of his Guru Maharaj. With this, he at last reached America. He was all alone and was not aware of where to go. Nobody was waiting for him, and like that, he went through lot of hardships over there. Prabhupada was living in the apartment with great difficulty. Once, when Prabhupada was somewhere out, someone broke into the room and stole his things like typewriter and tape recorder. He accepted the loss with great disappointment. Then he shifted to Bauri. There he had to share an apartment with a crazy hippie. One day, with high dose of intoxication, that boy David behaved very crazy. He started throwing things, and he also started running after Prabhupada to almost kill him. And in the middle of night, Srila Prabhupada left the apartment. And somehow, with great difficulties, Srila Prabhupada, along with some of his early followers, managed to get a small apartment at 26 2nd Avenue, one storefront down, one living quarters up, which was later named as the Matchless Gift. And this is how Matchless Gift Center came in the beginning. By unlimited struggles and hardships of Srila Prabhupada, who came to give Krishna Bhakti to the whole world. Matchless Gift. This is the place from where everything started. Today, International Society of Krishna Consciousness has more than 1,000 of temples and centers across the whole world. And it all started from this small storefront. That is why even after so many years of ISKCON, the matchless gift that Srila Prabhupada gave us is still fresh and deep-rooted in the hearts of devotees. Truly, Srila Prabhupada gave us matchless gift in the form of holy name, which is Yuga Dharma. He gave us matchless gift of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He gave us matchless gift of devotee association. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us matchless gift of Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Krishna, for giving us Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.